Hi, I'm Courtney and welcome back to Haven's Kitchen. Today we'll be making a 45-minute tahini sheet pan salmon. This recipe is a really easy way to get all of the components that you would want in a dish. You've got your salmon, you've got your potatoes, you've got your green beans for a little bit of veggie action, and we're going to roast all of them together on a sheet pan and only requires about 15 minutes of active time. If this recipe sounds like one you'd like to try, be sure to subscribe to see all of our future recipe videos. All right, let's get started. So for today's recipe, all you'll need is a sheet pan. We're not lining it with parchment paper today. We really want all of our vegetables to get those good crispy edges. So the potatoes are gonna have that golden brown sort of crust. Our green beans are also going to get a little bit of a char on them. And our sheet pan is going to aid in making sure that we get that crispy crunch. You'll still get a really nice roasted potato and your green beans if you use parchment paper. It definitely helps with cleanup, but if you'd like to get them a little crispier, we recommend just a little bit of olive oil on the bottom of your baking sheet. All right, so to start, we're going to preheat our oven to 425 degrees. And while we're waiting on that to warm up, we'll go ahead and toss our potatoes with a little bit of olive oil and some salt. All right, and we will just toss to combine. We want our potatoes pretty well coated. So now we'll add our potatoes to our sheet pan and we'll just spread those into a single layer. Laying out your vegetables in just a single layer also ensures that they're going to crisp instead of steam. If you put them too close together, all of that moisture and steam while it's in the oven is going to sort of build up, and it won't necessarily make it super soggy, but you won't have that great crunch. So we'll pop our potatoes into the oven for the first 15 minutes, and then we'll pull them out. We'll add in our green beans and our salmon, and we'll throw everything back in the oven. Okay, so our potatoes have been in the oven for the first 15 minutes. You can see that they've started to get a little bit roasty on these corners here. That's really what we're aiming for, but that doesn't mean that they're entirely cooked through. So now we're going to take our green beans and we're going to toss them in a little bit of that leftover olive oil and salt that we have in our bowl from tossing our potatoes. And we're just going to give this a quick little coating. So we have our green beans all coated in our olive oil and salt, and we're going to add them now to the sheet pan. And we'll also add a squeeze of our tahini sauce. All right, and now we will just toss all of our veggies together to coat them in our tahini. Oh, we lost a few little fallen soldiers. It smells so good already. I feel like whenever tahini or any of our sauces hits like a hot pan, the way that it just fills up the kitchen with all of that great aroma is my absolute favorite thing. So now we'll also make little spaces, little nests for our salmon to tuck into. All right, so we've made our little nests and now we're going to add in our salmon. Again, whenever you are cooking salmon and you want to try to get a crispy skin, you do want to make sure that you pat both sides down with a paper towel. And this really beautiful salmon is going to get a little bit of salt on both sides. So we're just seasoning that underside first and then tucking that in. And you want it to have direct contact with your sheet pan. You don't want it over your veggies. All right, and so now we're going to season the top of our salmon with a little bit of salt, and then we'll give everything a little drizzle of olive oil. This will go back into the oven and finish roasting for about 15 minutes. All right, so we have our salmon and our green beans and our potatoes all roasted and done. They're out of the oven. We're gonna give them a final squeeze of our golden turmeric tahini. And I think as you can see, this is really an under 30-minute recipe. You only toss all your vegetables and then you put them in the oven and then you bring them back out and you throw in your salmon and then you put it back in the oven. And you know, you only need to be involved for about 5 minutes of your total cooking time. Now we're adding a little bit of our sunshine sauce. Gorgeous. All right, so there you have it, our really easy sheet pan tahini salmon with green beans and roasted potatoes. If you enjoyed this recipe, be sure to like this video and subscribe to see all of our future videos. For the full recipe and textable shopping list, click the link below. Thank you so much for watching, and cook happy.